down some tests here. I'll see if I know this island enough that I know where I am, where it's changed so much.
Hey Travis,
Yeah,
that would be interesting.
what's that?
Where you talk to the guys for a mission?
Yeah,
Put a desk there. Put a on the surface of the desk. You put the put fuck a poster that's the map. That's just the entire map. The texture is like the satellite map. And it'd be like, no way.
wow, this is freaking huge, man.
What are you using? 10?
What's that? Yeah, these settings.
Cell? Cell and grid are really the only ones that matter for size.
Yeah, I'm not sure on these. I can't remember what I did. Uh-oh, I just run my car. Well, the water's working.
of the map. Kind of.
Wow.
What?
The towns will be gargantuan.
Why?
Just because the areas are so much bigger than what they used to. Used to you could look I just can't believe how much bigger it is. It's crazy.
You don't have to make them guard. You're starting a new map from scratch. You don't have to fill the same amount of space. Why don't you scale down the size of the map to like 16? What? Travis?
What?
What is 16? Is it 7.5?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up.
2?
Okay, as a tester, I'm going to travel up what I think is this road here. And we're going to go all the way back to the northwest airfield, which is now the central airfield, and let's see how long it takes from Cherno. Okay, it's 7 clicks. It doesn't look like it's that much further. This is like we're heading back to Nedzino. Oh, I can actually even see part of the road there. Yeah, I'm not. Whoa, shit! What a jump! I'm not liking these. Like I done this one, I went down in scale on it, and I've got a lot of sharp peaks and stuff like that, and I'm not a big fan of the peaks. I think it looked better before.
You just
Sap.
run a filter in Photoshop. Fuck, 10
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah, I'm
Big
not a big
deal.
fan of these peaks. The
Yeah,
way these peaks up.
Just change the contrast on it in Photoshop and re-import it. And yeah, you'll see it's just gonna, it'll
In mid, I'm hitting around 205 FPS right now, and in 10 clicks, I'm hitting 129, 180 now, and I've got a lot of viper nests spawned everywhere. Oh, we got textures messed up. Aha, we got mistakes.
Oh,
we got bugs. We got bugs. Let's see what's going on. You can see through the land. So either the texture didn't load or something's going on funky. Okay. I think I'm driving on air. Bum, bum. Yeah, okay, so this one didn't work. This size. Yeah, it's like you can tell you're on a mountain, but it's like it's made out of glass.
with the flat map,
What's that?
with the flat map, if I auto-generate this stuff, I should be able to pull out a fairly map within like an hour for this. How many textures do you have?
16.
What kind of how many of them are like map textures and how many of them are like other shit?
I'm not sure what you're talking about there. So
Like
I'm back at the airfield now.
How many of them are going to be used in the generation of the map? Like if the map
Most likely 16. They're all specific for specific things I'm wanting to do.
such
What's
like,
that?
you saw the one that I did with 4,
Yeah.
right? I'm assuming for the most of your map, you're going to have 4-ish, right?
Um, uh,
Dirt, rock,
kind of like that. I'm
dirt, rock,
so I'm
gravel.
gonna have, I'm gonna have 2 textures. Um, all of the water bed is gonna have one. The ocean floor.
Okay.
That'll cover the whole ocean floor. Then I'm gonna cover the whole island in a gravel rock. The whole island gets covered in a gravel rock. And then in specific areas, I will have grass, dirt, sand, desert, rocks. Like those are the other ones that'll fit over the other.
Well, you saw how,
Snow,
right?
road. What's that?
Yeah, well, road is not a texture that you can auto-generate.
Maybe. I still got some tricks up my sleeve. I'm working on.
It's not something that, no, it's not something that you can auto-generate as in me pushing a button and it's spitting out a fucking map like this. My question is,
Yeah.
if I were to take this map and given what I can do with this flat map and spit out a fucking, map, how many textures are you actually going to need for the majority of your map? I'm assuming
16.
that the roads go in later.
16 textures total. 16 color spots. No more, no less.
No, for the map.
16.
I'm not saying, oh, when you're finished. I'm saying for, the ground and whatever that you can put conditions on.
16. If you look at that little thing, that map legend I done, they're all listed right there, what they're for. You still got that?
Yeah, I gotta find it, but I think I saved it here.
If you save that folder in your favorites, whoa shit, I about run over. You save that folder in your favorites. It's I put all the stuff in there, and there's 2 folders. There's one called V1. V1 is version 1 Chernarus X, and V2 is version 2 Chernarus X. V2 is the super map.
Okay. Wanting to do 2?
What's that?
You're wanting to do 2, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I believe so.
Instead of 10, if you put 7.5, how does it map perform?
Don't know yet. Not done it. Holy shit, where am I?
what was it? Hang on. Okay. I thought I moved and I did not. Okay, so gravel road and asphalt aren't really going to be, can't be auto-generated because that shit goes in later, right?
I'm going to do a gravel that goes underneath the road. It's not going to have the lines on it, but I'm going to do like a gravel where when you're flying, it's the same color as the road to be able to see the roads. Well, I've got a couple of ways of doing it. That's why I put gravel / road. It's got a couple of things that it could be used for, whether I use it or not.
Yeah, but
it's mainly going to be used to make like parking lots and things like that. Hold on, I'll show you the texture.
It doesn't matter. Point being, it's not something you would put conditions on to have it auto generated by a fucking program.
Yeah, it will be. The parking lot areas and things like that. It'll be in the mask. That's what I mean.
It'll be in the mask, but I push a button, I get my map populated with textures. There's no what's it called? There's nothing that's going to no conditions that I can write that would say there's going to be a parking, this part of the map, based on what it looks like, is going to be a parking lot.
Right, that's why I said I got to use Photoshop to paint it in.
Right, but my point is, if I import the map, I can auto-generate a lot of the stuff based on splat maps, pass it back to you, and it gives you a pretty good fucking start. Unless you're looking to mess with your fields and shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some playing in it at the moment. I don't know what I'm gonna do, because I'm gonna look at some of the stuff on whether I use the sap map or I get rid of it. Like, I've got a lot of different options for it. And that's why right now I'm just doing testing. Nothing's in concrete.
I want to see what happens when I export my object. What it looks like. It's the battery.
Oh my god, really? What in the hell is... Something's not right. Fuck!
Wounded! Somebody help me!
Oh my god.
Man down!
What did I miss?
I'm just loving it. The height and everything is off in some of the areas and stuff, and it just spawned me where the location is supposed to spawn me, and it just dropped me down from one death. It just dropped me to the next
Need help.
death. That's so funny. Yeah, there's some funky shit with this map there, like those clear spots as well. There's some funky shit going on. Like, it's definitely not playable. Like, I was just trying to land the plane, and then it was like when I thought I was actually on the ground, it wasn't on the ground, and then it just like clipped into the ground and blew up. So this one needs some work as far as the layout of it. So at least I'm starting to learn some of the limits I'm pushing on it. But as far as the sea levels and the hills and stuff like that, it doesn't look bad at all. I'm about to take a fly around just to check it out, but it looks pretty decent. The size of it, it's just, oh, you can just see when you get in certain areas that I know. It's like, wow, this is fucking crazy. It's huge. Yeah, this bouncing shit, whatever that's doing is. Oh, it's the 10 click view distance.
What is?
Or wait a minute, what happened? When I went to 10 clicks, it... Yeah, whenever I go to 10 clicks, then I can see through it. But if I don't have it on 10 click view distance, it doesn't do it.
Your normal map out. 4086.
I don't have normal maps. No, I didn't do normal maps on this one.
Or sorry, your height map.
It's like 500 something for the maximum height.
No, not maximum height. The resolution.
Oh, 4096 by 4096. What?
I said maybe that is it.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Land. How you doing tonight? Appreciate you hanging out with me on the stream. I was just doing some testing on the map. New map that I'm working on. It's a Super Chinaris. You can see roughly Chinaris, and then all this part's been added. If you play a lot of ArmA or the ArmA series. Yeah, it's a really good game. I highly recommend it. It's got there's a ArmA 2, which is, I play ArmA 2 a lot, and I have ArmA 3 as well. You got two different titles, and everybody, I've got a lot of experience in them, and a lot of time in them as well. And a lot of people think that if you grab ArmA 3, you've just got the ArmA series, but it's not. It's two different games. I would describe them as kind of like Mario Brothers and Mario Yoshi. They both carry the same title, but they're really two different games. They're both really fun though. Each one has its own pros and cons. ArmA 3, I would say on ArmA 3, you need a really nice computer to run it, and some of the titles can be a little more expensive. So that's the kind of some of the cons with ArmA 3. ArmA 2, you can get by with a much crappier PC and still run it, but a lot of it's harder to find some of the servers and things like that out there. I'm in the process of making a new map here, and I'm gonna tell you the scale on this thing is like, wow. I was expecting it to be big, but just wow. That's one thing that's good about the ArmA games, whether it's ArmA 1, 2, or 3, is just the sheer scale of it. Really just don't have title like the Battlefield series and the Call of Duty and stuff. They're nice games, but they just don't have nothing compared to the scale of ArmA. ArmA's just on a whole nother level when it comes to scale. Yeah, on this one, you definitely could. You could have a massive battle on this one, which is kind of like my mod. What I do. The XMod, I'm a developer of one called the XMod, and the XMod is it's a PvE, but we ran into, I used to play a lot of PvP, even competitive PvP, and we was just running into so many hackers because you get a lot of people with script kiddies and things like that, and I wanted to just make AI, but AI that was as good as a player. And so I just put a lot of time. I spent over 4 years on developing just the AI to make them like real people. And it's come along pretty well. I got AI that can, that actually makes choices and things like that. And the AI will actually like pick out who your medic is in your team and shoot your medic and things like that, or wound your teammates and wait on you to come and heal them. And then pick you off. Like, I've spent a lot of time on making some dirty tactics to make the AI play like real people. This is smooth pretty good here. I need to check this out over here. This server, it's pretty much the theme of my AI is the XMod versus the Vipers, and it's kind of, I don't know how old you are, but it's kind of the theme of the G.I. Joe. I grew up on the G.I. Joe cartoons and the comic books and stuff, and that's what I made this theme of this one. Right now, I'm just checking the terrain and some of the things like that, seeing how I don't have anything active right here at the moment, so this is going to be kind of boring to watch at the moment. I was just checking my map size and everything like that, building spawns and things like that, just to get a feel. You can see, like, I mean, everything is shifted to the left at the moment, but just to give you an idea, if you're familiar with the Chernarus map, this is Belota. And there used to be 3 airfields on Cherno, which you had Belota, Northwest, and the Northeast airfields. And just to give you an idea of the scale, this is now the center airfield. There's another one to the north here, and then there's another one over here to the west. Just to give you, I would say, this right here that's Cherno. Yeah, that's a good one too. I like the aliens. Actually, you like stuff like that as well. Just to tell you, like in the ArmA series, they actually have mods where people have made them. They've got mods where you can fight aliens, and they got mods where you can take your soldiers and you go in and clear, and then the predator starts hunting you. And you've got to kill the predator. They got some stuff like that. They got some really good mods out there. Predator one is really nice. They done a really good job on it. They even took some of the soundtracks from the movie The Predator as well. And you'll be in the woods and you'll be sitting there and you'll hear like the music start playing and it gets you adrenaline going. And then you hear the Predator making his noises and you're like, oh shit, shit, shit. Yeah, I've used the program to smooth all of this, and that's what I'm checking to see how well the smoothing has done. It looks like it's done a really nice job.
What do you do? Contrast filter?
What's that?
Contrast filter?
No, smoothing under L3. Just wanted to see how it done on these little shoulders. Not a bad job. Not a bad job at all. I could do a big town here, no problem at all. Still got to get all the trees and everything in here. Yeah, appreciate you hanging out with us. Drop back anytime you want. We actually stream every Friday and Saturday night. And yeah, appreciate it. Thank you very much. We stream every Friday and Saturday night if you ever want to come in and hang out with us. And if you ever pick up the game and want to play on our server, just check out the links below and that'll show you how to get in here to our push to talk thing. Have a good one. Yep, not a problem. Appreciate you stopping by. Oh my God, Lauren. The scale is just like I'm just trying to run out to check the little island, and it's like it's one click. The dock is fucking one click to run the distance of the dock now. This is going to be so nice when I get it done.
Have you tried 7.5?
I mean, under testing, but I don't know. I'm really starting to. The more I start messing with this, the more I like it because it's going to allow me.
10?
No, this is at. I forgot what this one's at. It's something like
248
I think
multiple by 10?
I can't remember exactly what this
148
one
by 10?
is. It's more than 10 though. It's something like 60 or 80 or so.
In the top you're talking about?
Yeah. I've done the textures on this one. The textures are only like, I think on this one they're 256 on this one is what I've done. Or the grid, I mean. It's 256.
Ugh.
Yeah, you would think it's like, oh God, this is going to look bad. It actually doesn't look that bad. Hell, it looks, but to give you an idea, it looks better than ArmA default. It's not at my level of quality, but it's better than ArmA default.
You're walking around in your golf course?
What's that?
You're walking out around in your golf course? Just brought up your stream.
It's no, because I have the satellite on it right now.
So you're in water for some reason. Not quite high enough. That's why. Right?
What's that?
Not quite high enough?
No, this is actually supposed to be underwater, this part. Supposed to be a pier right here. This is where the pier sits.
But it's not quite high enough, and that's why you can see grass under the water. To your right and left.
The grass that's under the water is because I hadn't done those textures yet. See, it like the land part, it doesn't look the greatest, but that's the default, like that's kind of default ArmA, the way default ArmA look. Here's just you can see the sheer size of the damn map. It's crazy. It is for something else.
You didn't blow up that nest?
Nah, there's no vipers that'll come out at the moment. I got them turned off. But I do have the nest spawning just to see. Like, I mean, look how many damn nests. I mean, you can just see them. They're out there every damn where. It's like, so I do have a lot of objects on it. Right now, I've got, just for testing, I've got right around 5,000 of these nests spawned. And
the town, how does that work?
yeah, you see that whole town is out there in the water. All of it shifted. It shifted the wrong way, and that's what I got to do is shift it back the right way.
can walk on?
What's that?
Shouldn't that be a continuous something you can walk on?
No, it's a pier sets down on top of this and goes all the way around, and the water just runs up to the edge of the pier. You don't actually see any of this land. I just want this is a part of the land you don't see, and like you see how sharp the edges are right here, where you got these angles. I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah.
I wanted to see that's why I went out there and checked it. This is a part that you don't normally see. It's under a thing, and I smoothed it with the L3, and it's like, wow, just, I can't believe how nice it's smooth. Like all of this has been smoothed as well. You can look, like where I'm looking at, you can see this compared to some of the other areas over there when I get up on land.
Those peaks look kind of funky.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you see that peak, that's what I don't like, is how they look. They're pointy like that. You see this, like how that one's pointed and stuff, and then you see that one how it arches. That's one I started messing with a little bit. But yeah, I don't like that peak shit.
You should have some peaks in mountains if you're gonna have snow.
Yeah, to a point, but not, I mean, nothing like that. I mean, there shouldn't be.
No. 60 meters down, Charlie.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, and look, I mean, the grass, it looks bad compared to well, I mean, it is my grass. It looks bad because it's stretched so big. But even, I mean, like I zoom out, that's better than ArmA's. It's better looking than ArmA's default grass. It's like, and it's stretched and looks like shit right now. I smoothed all, like you can see just how flat this is. You could come in and put, think of like cities, you know what I'm saying? City of Heroes or whatever. With an area this flat, I could come in and lay my sidewalks, lay all my roads and all that stuff, and this would be crazy. This would be so nice right here.
Yeah, well, you could do that anyway.
On the other one, it was too, like, you should see, you should see how bumpy the land areas are on the default map.
Set the height. Pick and set the height, and you roll the brush over it.
Yes, that's what I did right here. Was I fixed all that?
Like, to say it was too bumpy, that's an easy fix.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I fixed this one compared to some of the other ones. Looking at them,
it's like an eyedropper set height.
Yeah, it's easy as hell.
So I mean, the fact that it's flat, or that the areas are flat, are not because of the settings in the map.
No, this is something I did in L3, smoothing it, and it's smooth.
Right.
I wanted to see how nice it would smooth it, because the other part of the map, when you get over there looking at it and stuff, it looks rough. It's really, really rough, and I just wanted to do one little section because I'm going to eventually do the whole damn map, but the other part is really bad.
Well, where's this little section you're talking about? It looks like a pretty fucking huge section to me.
You talking about right here where I've smoothed all this,
yeah,
or?
I smoothed just one little section. Well, I'm not seeing a little section. I'm seeing a pretty damn big.
Yeah, let me show you. I smoothed this one little section right here, and that's what you're actually seeing. That's how big that little section is.
Yeah, I know, and that's why I'm saying I don't see the little section that you smoothed. I see the big section you smoothed.
I just want to see what it is. God. Hey Zach, how you doing? Actually, let me show you here. So, what do we got here? About right here is Chinaris, I think. Let me see if I can cut it off here. About right there is Chinaris. And then this is what I call Super Chinaris. This is my map I've been working on. The names and everything, I was using the names from the other ones just for placement holders at the moment, but all those names, all that stuff is going to get changed and rearranged and stuff like that. But this is my Super Chinaris map that I had been working on for a while. Like you can see the islands and stuff are misplaced or misnamed and things like that right now. It's got the islands, it's got 1, 2, 3. I'm going to turn this in. 4, 5, 6. So it'll have like probably up to 8 islands on it when I get done. The runways, you know, the northwest airfield. The northwest airfield is going to be called Central Airfield, and you can see it's in the center of the map. Then you'll have the northeast, which I'm going to call the Eastern Airfield, and then I have a northern airfield that I'm working on, and then a western airfield now. And then we have a southern airfield as well, which is not electro, but pretty close. It's pound for pound. It's got to be right there, and it's in ArmA too. Imagine that. It's got to be pretty close to Altus. I don't know how much bigger because I've changed some of my scaling things on it, and I got to check and see, but I've got to be pretty close. I won't know until I get some more testing done, but I'm going to be in the neighborhood of Altus, except for the big difference between Altus and mine is Altus has a bunch of chunks cut out for water battles, so I should have more land mass where they will have more water for the water fights and stuff. But ArmA 2, you don't really have the water shit, so you don't need it that much. Plus, it's an island, so you can go any direction and fight in water. Water's not a biggie for me. What's that, Lauren?
Altus isn't an island, though, is it?
Yeah. It's an island this way. Yeah, I mean, you can just see I've actually changed the grass to be a road, even though it's a grass texture. These are not the proper textures or any of that stuff or the proper shapes of the mountains. I'm doing stuff now to test for performance. Like you see my FPS right now. I'm in 10-click view distance with that FPS, and just to do map testing and things like that. I mean, you can see it's if I go to the normal. I mean, it's it's crazy. Mind you, the default ArmA is not even the default ArmA don't even reach those numbers. The default Chinaris map with nothing on it. I'm usually around like the 60s to 80s with the default Chinaris map with nothing on it. With its size. I got a damn plane over here somewhere. There it is. I'll fly around. I may do. It's like with any map, it takes some time to do them and everything, so I got to put it all together and everything. I know a lot of people would like something like this, like a big Chinaris, because I like the other worlds, but nothing ever hit quite like this one. Chinaris is just one of those, they got it right the first time. And this won't really be Chinaris, it'll be a modified version, but it'll have it in memory. I wanted a Chernarus Island where a lot of people did not want that. I really like my islands. I like, I'll show you, hold a minute, I'll fly around to the northern area and show you what I'm doing up there. Northern area is just crazy looking. Kind of hard to get a sense of where you're at, like as you're flying along. It's like, wait, where's this at? Where's this? So this is roughly where Cherno was, and you can see how much bigger Cherno, and as you would go around. Thank you, thank you. Electro area. Not started really doing the smoothing yet and pulling the land up the right ways and things like that. It's more just getting it in the right neighborhood now. This is where it starts to get pretty cool looking up here. What I wanted to do is I wanted to really make different areas, and I'm actually thinking about in the northern part cutting a river across the map in the northern part and using the sea level to produce the river. And then that way I can put a bunch of bridges and things like that across it and stuff like that. You can see where I'm going to build like a mountain terrain that runs along the side of the road and stuff. I am. I'm going to put. I'm going to make this a gaming map, not a realistic map. And I'm going to. We was actually talking about that. I'm going to be kind of like the whole Minecraft thing. I'm going to have a desert biome, a snow biome, and then the normal Chernarus stuff and things like that. What I'm doing up here, that's where I'm doing these mountains. I'm going to do the mountains, and up in the higher parts of the mountains, I'm going to cover all the top of the mountains with snow. And then down on the lower bottom coastal area, I'm going to do a desert area down there on the corner. And then over toward the island stuff and everything, I'm going to do some swamp lands and things like that, where it's kind of like the Vietnam type landscapes and stuff. But I'll show you how these, this is normally this is where Chernarus ended here. I mean, I've not even went to the north yet. This is, Chernarus used to end right in here, but I'll show you, I'll turn back when I get over here. I mean, you could just see the playable area. Like, can you imagine some tank battles and stuff in some of these fields like this? It would be so badass. This is where I've got some of the mountain areas. I'm going to bring them up and things like that. But where I'm starting to do like some of the valleys and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm going to bring some of these mountains here up higher, and then they will be covered in snow and areas like that and stuff. Got to get some of these textures and stuff fixed in that 10K. Show you here, like this is all new territory here as I push past this part, and you'll see what the new area looks like. Like, it's some really, and this is where I'm going to do some of these big mountain areas, and I'm going to cover a lot of this with snow and stuff like that. These islands look pretty close to each other right now, but I'm going to make all 4 of these little surrounding islands. I'm going to give them all a different look and change the layout on them and stuff like that, so these islands will look different. The big 4 at the corners. And I think I'm going to do a different theme on each one of the islands as well, like the swampy areas and things like that, and jungle and things like that. Yeah, you can see like just some of the mountains and stuff up here. I mean, there's a ton of new playing area. And I mean, there's another island. You can see what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be.
Where's the fuel for this?
Thank you. I appreciate it. I've not even crossed to give you an idea of the scale. I've still not even made it to the end here. Just going across the top. It's the scale. I'm so happy with the scale of it, especially to be on an ArmA 2 server. That's what it's like. I've got some new tricks for some of the stuff with trees and things like that. So the performance should stay way up there once I get the performance, get everything and start putting it in there. Yeah, now we're just getting over to finally the other island before it starts to turn back. You see how all the roadway, I'm going to do roadways that go up on the mountains and things like that, so you have roadways that run along the mountains and stuff like that. I come up a little bit here, you can actually start to see the texture underneath it, and you can see kind of like what the layout that's coming. Have a good one. Take care. Enjoy it. We'll talk at you next time. I'm working on some new stuff for AI. If I find a breakthrough, I'll let you know, but I think I may have found something pretty cool for an improvement on performance with AI. I'll let you know if it works. Yeah, see, Lauren, now that you can see where the roads are going to be and everything, it's like, wow, it's...
Consider knocking it down to 16K square.
I don't know, I'm starting to fall in love with the scale. Where I hated it before, I was like, it's too big. It's like, no, go big or go home.
Well, with that, you set yourself up for a whole lot of fucking work. 16 squares, 256.
It gives me something to do though over time. It gives me a lot to do. This will be my legacy. This is what I leave behind.
All the time from everything else. What's that horizontal?
What's that?
What's that horizontal line out there in the sea? That's
Oh, where the texture's got to be fixed. It's got to, or the land has to be brought down. Hold on, I'll cut back where you can see it. It's got, yeah, it's got to be pushed down around the attic. When it finishes right there, it just runs straight out. See, I think I'm gonna crash here trying to look at it. Like this little like dog ear here that stuck out, I think I'm actually going to cut that off right there, and I'm thinking about making those little bitty islands as well. They're just like separate on the sides there. These little pieces here, I'm thinking about cutting it right around there. I don't know yet, but I was thinking about. That
Problem with this is that all of the travel time is going to take a long time. So you have to either dial back the AI.
no, that's what'll make it. That's what'll make it good. Is the travel. The travel time will give you much more areas to cover and play and stuff on the missions. That?
People are going to have to get a payout just getting to the mission. The problem is they have to get back to the job.
What's that?
With the 10K issue or
yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look at it and see. But see, they're actually there. It's just causing that to do it. If I change. See, the areas are there.
no, I understand.
When I done the heights map, the parts that's got to be fixed, I'm gonna dive in on them just to show you. Like, you can't even hardly, even though I know they need to be fixed, you can hardly even tell it now. Like you can see right here, this is where the road, this section I'm diving on right here, this is where I actually put in that new section at. What's that?
Past the tiny island in the corner. Is that buildings in the water?
Yeah, those are generated towns that I've already made, and they're just in the wrong position right now. Yeah, here you can see like, and that's what I mean. This is just has to be pushed down, and but this is actually the part of the map that's been cut and put together, and you can tell it. But even though you can tell it, it's actually not that bad. Yeah, not hard to fix, but that's what I'm saying. Like compared to what it was before, where we had the towering pieces where it was all broken up. Like hell, there's nothing to this right here. This is. This part here don't even look like it's been put together, but the seam is right there. And then runs. This is part of the seam as well. I actually kind of like this seam. I don't think I will touch it a whole lot. I love the way it comes into the mountains.
If anything.
Other than just the smoothing stuff on it.
I would think not even with it. Make it a peak.
Gotta bring it up a little more.
Yeah. Rock. Basically, here's the wall. You gotta go around. Our water
What's that?
default. The water looks so much better than default ArmA.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how it came out. Especially when you start to go over the deeper areas. Like, when you start to get out here in the deep areas, I think it come out really good. What's that?
Said don't get too close. How, where's the fuel at on that plane in terms of, is it in the cockpit?
Up in the left-hand corner where it says "hold," that green bar, that's how much fuel I got.
Okay.
I love these little, like the valleys like this where you can, like, right, I mean, this stuff right here is just so nice.
Both sides are so wide.
It's like where this valley, you can kind of hardly see the valley right here, but I'm traveling the valley. I'm going to push all of this down, and this is where I think I'm going to possibly, if I do it, run the river through. Pushing all of this down. See, it's got to go down like right here. That you can start to see how far it's got to go down as I start to move out to the edge, but it could be done pretty easily. Through here, all this just needs to be pushed down a little more so that the sea level fills. And then see, I was going to split it, the water on this side and on the other side there. I think that would be pretty neat looking. What's that?
What building did you just fly over? Hospital?
Yeah, one of the spawn points. It's out of place though. One of the things I was looking at when I redo the map, because I get to pick on the trees and everything this time. I've got these little patches right here on the four corners, and I'm going to build a little base on each one of them little patches for the four spawn parts on the corner, on the four corners.
But not on that.
No, not on the island. On this little section right here.
You better.
Well, that's the great thing about this plane. This thing, it can stop. That's an F-35.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, this thing is cool as hell. Like you can say, I can go into a hover like a helicopter. Yeah, it's badass. You can see how how it's turned down and the vents are opened up on the top and everything, and then they'll close up whenever I start flying forward. I'm liking it though. It's definitely getting there. A lot of potential.
I see certain issues with it though. It's too big.
What's that?
You're gonna have far too many objects on your map.
I don't know, because I'm gonna again. I've got. I don't want to talk on the stream, but I've got some tricks up my sleeve. I'll be right back. I'm logging out of the stream.